had money, so it was a very good year. Very good year. Well, let's bring him on out. My next guest is my television brother, a man who in his heyday was more popular. This effect had more fan mail than Elvis Presley. This is not an impersonator. He's alive and well. Let's bring him out, David Cassidy. David, how you doing? A pleasure to see you.
You know, I'd like to say the same. Of course, I can't see you.
And it's probably better that way.
Great to see you too.
Hey, let me ask you something. When I wanted to interview you, I thought, now I know David so well, I'm going to ask him questions that maybe only I want to know. So I sat around with a bunch of people to find out what they wanted to know, and I ignored it. So I'm going to stick with what I want to know. Do you need a new bass player? Do you need a bass player by any chance? The time's been really hard for me.
Did I ever ask you this question? You know why you have red hair?
No, why?
Your brain's rusted, kid.
You remember the lines from the Partridge Family?
Well, you know, I usually go to sleep at night and quote my old dialogue, but...
Wow, I'm not all that...
What are you doing? Wait a minute. What are you doing in Australia, and who was it who gave you the job?
Well,
you do have a job, don't you?
Yes, I do. I'm hosting Tonight Live. It's like their biggest... It's like the Johnny Carson show in America. It's their biggest nighttime talk show over here, and I am the host all week long.
Well, of course, if you didn't have those photographs of me, I wouldn't be here tonight, but never mind, that's another story.
I've got some photographs of you here. Now, you can't see this. I am holding up a newspaper at this very moment that says, Cassidy strips for Gina. Nude photos inside. Did you take your clothes off for Gina Lollobrigida? You dirty boy, you. What kind of cool guy?
I knew it was going to... I just was wondering... I had my watch on. It's actually been 1 minute and 15 seconds. Then it degenerated to this. Are you now going to ask me if I slept with Susan Day, too?
Come on. I said I wasn't going to... I told everybody when they asked me to ask, I told everybody I can't.
Pretty scary.
I asked him once in his own living room, and he hit me in the head. I'm not asking him that question. But did you take your clothes off for Gina Lollobrigida?
Gina and I got to know each other in semi-biblical sense. I wouldn't...
That's the coolest thing.
I wouldn't get to say that, honestly. I've always been rather discreet about the relationships that I've had. And Gina is no exception.
Well, I once made out with Tracy. That's my biggest brush with fame there.
What are you talking about? Had you played your cards right when Jodie Foster was guest starring on the show, telling you that she loved you, you could have been a very important man in the business today.
Yeah, well, I was young.
Danny, you opted for that Indian transvestite.
Yeah, Jodie had a pretty big impression on me. Yes, sir.
By the way, have you been arrested yet in Australia?
No, I certainly haven't. I have been a good boy.
How long have you been there?
In Australia? I've been here 4 days.
How long have you been in Australia?
4 days.
4 days?
Uh-huh.
It's just a matter of time for you.
Listen, I want to ask you something.
How long are you planning on being there?
I'm planning on being here just till Saturday.
I see.
So if I make it back through American Customs, I'll be, as long as the customs officials don't watch Donahue, I'll be able to get back in the country.
I understand.
Here's something kind of interesting that I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
I read about this Australian girl named Bula. She won a contest in 1974, and the first prize was meeting you. Now, you had something that happened where you weren't able to show up that day on a TV show. You did speak to her by phone, and she was crushed. She cried on the phone to you. If she were here, what would you tell her today?
It was a toothache. I needed a crown replaced.
I'll tell you what. Do it.
Is it Bula?
It's Bula, and she's here right now. Say hello to David Cassidy, Bula.
Hi,
Bula. How are you? Good. I of course can't see you, and
she's a babe, David.
Yeah.
You blew it, dude. You blew it.
Yeah. Well, it certainly won't be the first time or the last. I, of course, have lost my audio here, and now I can't see or hear you. No, I think I got it back.
You're back.
So, I'm back. So the thing I guess I need to tell you, Bula, is I don't remember a thing about that experience, quite honestly. But I'd love to come back, and perhaps you'd give me another shot at that. What were we supposed to have a date together?
No, you were just meant to come on this show, and I was meant to hand you all the stuff I made for you when you were...
She actually won the contest by having the most David Cassidy paraphernalia of anyone in Australia. By the way, that was in 1974, and a ticket to your concert was $3.20.
Well, I tried to give everybody a real good show for their money, and you buy that, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going for that.
I actually have to be honest with you and tell you that I loved playing in Australia. The shows that we did there, I mean this, that I will not forget the Melbourne Cricket Grounds. We played the Randwick Racecourse, I think, in Sydney.
Wow.
Perth, Brisbane, Adelaide. They were really fantastic, and I've been trying to get back there and play for the last couple of years, and my manager keeps telling me that there's really nobody cares anymore. But
oh, they're wrong. Even I came over here and did 16 sold-out shows only 6 months ago. So if I can sell out 16, you can stay here for a couple of years.
Well, I would love to come back there, and for Bula and for the rest of the people, in all sincerity, that have been writing me and the letters and everything else, I can't thank you enough. And it's not that I don't want to come. I would love to come, and all I can tell you is please write Polygram Records and tell them that you want to see me, and I'll be there.
That's my next question. When's your album come out over here? You've got a new album out called Didn't You Used to Be?
In America. I don't know about Australia because I think they've been sort of hedging about releasing it. I think maybe they think there's not enough interest in me coming. I don't know. I really want to come. I would love nothing more to come and play. And, you know, Danny, I'm sure you've talked about it. You opened some shows for me here in America. You were pretty great, I got to say.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'd love to have you come and do that again. So who knows?
Maybe we could do it in Australia. We could do it over here together. That would be great. Listen,
I'd like to do that.
I want to ask you some stuff that I didn't know. Apparently, the writers and researchers on the show really do their work. You've been a guest star on the L.A. poetry scene. Have you been out doing poetry readings?
Well, you know, there are these pseudo-intellectual poets here in Los Angeles. You remember them? They used to run the studios here.
Oh yeah.
And anyway, there are a bunch of actors who actually got into thinking they were poets. And I, with a couple of friends of mine, Scott Baio, just a bunch of people here in town who really didn't take themselves too seriously, tried to send up celebrity poetry night. And we did a little of that.
Okay, as long as we're talking about send-ups, and then you won't take this too seriously, about every year...
The expression is taking the piss out of yourself.
Yeah, that's an expression over here. Every year somebody approaches me about why don't they do a Partridge Family reunion? The Bradys keep doing these reunions. Why don't you guys do a reunion? And every year they say, listen, David Cassidy refuses to do it. That would pay my rent for years. I could pay off the lawyers. I'd be set. Please,
you want to do it?
I desperately want to do the Partridge Family reunion.
Okay, here's the deal. I don't want to do a Partridge Family reunion, but I wouldn't mind doing a kind of a retrospective where we could sit around and not play. I can't see myself in 1992 playing Keith.
You look so cool in the red velvet suit, though. Boomla was saying...
I kept that suit.
When you first came up on the monitor, Boomla said you actually don't look any older than in these pictures, and you don't. How did that... I mean, I aged 2 days for one. Somewhere in your attic, do you have a picture of me growing older? David Cassidy goes out and parties. I get big bags under my eyes. It doesn't seem fair.
Bad, man. You are so bad. Of course, I pack it nice every night, Dan, as you know.
Yeah, but what do you do for the face? Listen, we got to take off. The new album is Didn't You Used to Be. Look for it. It's on Polygram. It's going to be out here in Australia. I've been playing it in America on my radio station. It's totally worth hearing. Ladies and gentlemen, David Cassidy. Thanks, David. See you, buddy. Oh, that was so cool. Say bye, Bula. Excellent. That was so cool. All right, let's go to a break with some vintage David Cassidy. Let's see. Roll the tape. Let's see.